So here we go, and I just realized I didn't put the frame stripe on in the last step, which sort of frames in the truck. So I'll put it right before I draw the truck. Make it a little thicker, as it's going to be painted yellow. There we go. Okay. Now, being that this is a SD40 built to SD40-2, we built the SD40-2 specifications, we'll be putting the Flexcoil trucks. So again, the basic goal of the truck side frames is that we want to get the basic wheel well. So we come in right about 1/8 of an inch, and then 1/4 of an inch. Then we go 3/4 of an inch or so, and then again 1/4 of an inch, then 3/4 of an inch. And the real goal is to get these so you kind of, in a 2 3/4 inch truck, kind of come in about right a little bit over 1/8 of an inch, then 1/4, 3/4, 1/4, 3/4, and 1/4, and kind of measuring out, come up 1/8 of an inch from the rail, and then from that go up 1/2 an inch. And what you're basically doing is making these pockets. Then to connect them, go up 1/2 an inch from the rail, kind of make these little triangles. And this area here is right a little less than 1/4 of an inch. And then you basically have your side frame. This is basically the first time we've drawn a Flexcoil truck. So it's that you come in 1/8, 1/4, and 3/4, 1/4, 3/4, 1/4, and 1/8. And you go up 1/8 and then 1/2. And I might as well do them pretty much both at the same time. I kind of drew that one all. So let's do this one. There's the 1/8 and a little bit over 1/4, 3/4, a little bit over 1/4, 3/4, and the 1/8. And go up 1/8 from the rail and 1/2 an inch. what we're basically doing then you go up, is we're making these pockets right here. And this is sort of a piece of the styling of the frame. Just sort of a line that curves. Kind of goes straight across and then curves down. And in the middle it kind of goes, kind of makes this arch curve. And then put circles inside of all of them for the roller bearings. Basically, a lot of these trucks are very similar. In that they have these 4 rectangles around them. And then the detail of the roller bearing inside. And as I said, the difference between one of the main spotting features between HTC trucks and the Flexcoil trucks is that the middle truck on a Flexcoil truck just has the straight roller bearing, whereas on an HTC truck there's a strut. That was besides, you know, the longer porches and all different kinds of things, that was one of the first ways that, considering that there were still some SD40s running around in my day, besides cab numbers and all kinds of things, that was one of the first ways that when I got to know newer railroads that I really would spot SD40s. Was, I go to the air reservoirs, might as well put them over on this. Southern Pacific, which was my hometown railroad, for instance, had SD40s, but not the straight SD40-2s. We had the tunnel motor version. Might as well put the wheels. and put the bevel while we're at it. And we'll keep adding a little bit more detail. Here and there. Kind of some circles. And adding the traction motors in a minute. All right, so some eraser dust off. And there's basically the SD40 Flexcoil truck. Okay, so then we'll move on and finish the pencil lines in the next step.